But we're going to start off by coming into our Bananasana pose. So come to lying on your back and keep the hips a little bit level towards the ground, and then just lift the legs up and move them over to the right, and take the upper body and move it over to the right. And you can take hold of elbows, wrists, you can cross legs, and just take a few seconds to settle in, and then we'll just stay here for a few breaths. So just close down the eyes. And let's just breathe in, breathe out. And this is a really good pose for the lats. It's a nice stretch for that left side body. And move that forward. Stay clear. The idea of yin yoga is that we're working deeper and trying to encourage that mindfulness. So just staying in the moment for a few long breaths. Just surrendering into the pose. And we're going to be here for a little bit longer, so if you need to make any adjustments, so if your air just shifted, then you can do that and just settle in for a few more breaths. Just feel that breath all the way in. Feel the ribs expand. Breathing all the way out. And slowly inhale and come back to center. So move the body over to the left and just unravel the legs. And take a couple of breaths at center just to notice how it feels. In your own time, we're going to take it over to the left now. So just be mindful of any differences. And we're going to breathe into that right side body, all the way up, all the way down. There shouldn't be any discomfort. Listen to your body. So we're going to stay here for a little bit longer. So if you need to make any changes, you can shift it a little bit, and let's just stay here for a few more breaths. It might be different on this side. And let's just take a couple more breaths. And in your own time, you're going to slowly come back to center. And just unravel yourself. Take a couple of breaths here. Just notice how the body's feeling. And we're going to slowly bend the knees and bring the feet to the mat. Let's take the arms to the side. As we inhale, we lift up into bridge pose. We're going to stay here for a little bit longer. So feel the feet pressing into the mat, gently engaging the glutes and the quads. I'm going to stay here for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. And slowly bring the hips back to the mat. Now, if you've got your belt or your scarf or whatever handy, I'm going to do a little bit on the legs and the hips. So we're going to start with the right leg. I'm going to lift it straight up into the air. Now, you can keep the left knee bent or you can straighten it. If you straighten it, it's a bit more challenging. So just bring the belt and place it around that right foot nice and safely. And keep the elbows on the mat if that's available to you. So find your point. And we're going to just gently open out that right hamstring. So as you breathe, just breathe that leg towards the upper body. You can bend the knee a little bit if it's a bit difficult. If you find you're bending the knee too much that you lose the stretch, then just gently bring that leg a little bit further away. So this should feel like quite a nice stretch. Just take a few breaths here. Again, if you breathe and see if you can find any more space, any more length in the hamstrings. Just take a couple more breaths. And then we're going to gently release. So just take the belt away. And we're going to bend that knee and bring it into the chest. Just give it a nice little squeeze. And we're going to rotate the ankle in both directions. Just opening it out. I'm going to stay with the right for a little bit longer. So I'm going to bring that belt around that foot again. And this time, take hold of the belt in the right hand. Place the left hand on the left hip. So you want to keep that left hip towards the mat. So just monitor that. And in your own time, slowly bring that right leg out to the right. So a nice big opening of that right hip. Just go as far as it's comfortable for you. We're going to breathe here for a few moments. You should feel this in the hip, in that inner thigh area. We're just going to take a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, slowly bring yourself out of it. So just bring that knee in, and gently release the belt. And just bring that knee back into the chest. And we're going to rotate the ankle a few times in both directions. And you can open and close the foot. Just flexing and closing. That's great. And we're going to move over to the left side. So I'm going to just swivel around. So again, you can keep the right knee bent or you can keep that right leg straight. We're going to bring the belt around that left foot this time. See if you can keep the elbows towards the mat so you've got a nice stable hold. And we're going to slowly breathe that left leg towards the chest. So again, this is opening up the hamstrings. Just settling for a few breaths. You might notice differences on this side, and that's absolutely fine. Just accept your body, embrace it. Let's just take a couple more breaths. When you're ready, slowly release that belt. Let's bring that knee into the chest. A nice squeeze and gently rotate the ankle in both directions. I'm going to stay with the left. I'm going to take the belt again around that left foot. I'm going to take the right hand on that right hip and just slowly start bringing that left leg out. And again, you might notice a difference. We might be a little bit tighter on the left. I know I am. That's absolutely normal. You may find more space as you breathe into it. Let's just take a couple more breaths all the way in, all the way out. Slowly bring yourself back, release the belt, and we're going to squeeze that knee in. And we're going to rotate the ankle in both directions, and we're going to open and close that foot. So we're flexing into that foot as well. And release. We're going to slowly bring the feet to the mat. Take the arms to the side, and we're going to inhale as we lift the hips up, coming into the bridge pose. So just notice what's happening here with the body. If the legs are coming out wide, gently engage those inner thigh muscles. Draw them a little bit closer. And we're going to stay here for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. And slowly come back to the mat. I'm just going to do a couple more poses. We're going to bring that right foot. I'm going to place it on that left thigh and just gently flex that right foot. So we're keeping that right knee nice and safe. You can stay here for a few breaths, or you can loop the hands through and bring them around the thigh on the left side or the shin. And let's just breathe here. We're going to stay here for about 5 breaths. And when you've done your 5, slowly release that foot. And we're going to bring it back to the mat. Take a couple of breaths here, so just notice how it feels. And we're going to bring that left foot over that right thigh. gently flexing into it. And just notice where that left hip naturally comes out. Just notice where it is. You can stay here. You can loop the hands through. It's your choice. So let's just take 5 deep breaths. So just be a little bit mindful with these hip openers. They can be quite strong. And they can also release emotion in the body as well. So just be aware of that. And breathe in, breathe out. When you're ready, slowly and safely release. So bring that foot to the mat. Take a couple of breaths in. Notice how it's feeling. And when you're ready, we're going to bring the arms to the side. And we're going to inhale as we lift the hips up for bridge pose again. So just take it here, breathing all the way in, all the way out. We're going to stay here for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. And slowly come back. We're going to bring the knees into the chest. And we're going to inhale as we lift the forehead towards the knees. And just engage the core here. Shoot the fingers away from the body. Exhale to release. And let's go again. Inhale to lift. Exhale to release. One more time. And release. So we're going to slowly bring the feet to the mat. And I want you to tilt the pelvis towards the belly. So feel that lumbar spine pressing into the mat. And as you inhale, just lift the legs off. And you can straighten them or keep them bent. You can take the chest off as well. And just engage the abs. So tap the abs. Check that they're engaging. And keep breathing in with it. For 3, for 2, for 1, and release. And draw it in for a couple of breaths. And we're going to shoot the feet up towards the ceiling. Press the feet into the air. Flex the toes towards the face. Point and flex. And take the arms and the hands, and you can do the same thing. And take a few rotations of the ankles and the wrists in both directions. We're just going to do a few moments on the abs here. So bring the arms to the side. I'm going to take our leg raises. You can take them one at a time, like so, or you can take them together, but nice and controlled with the breath. And again, just tap the abs, check that they're engaged. Might be a good motivator. Just keep breathing. And just do 5 more wherever you are. And we're just gently going to come all the way down. Hover, hover, hover here for 3, 2, 1, and release. And just bring the knees into the chest if you like. Take a couple of breaths here, just resting breaths. I'm going to do a little bit more in the abs. So I want you to bring the legs out and just let them hover, and you can bring the chest up. You can stay here, you can scissor them out wide, or you can float them up and down. And we're going to be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold and release, and bring the knees in. Just give yourself a nice little hug. And gently release the feet to the mat. Just check you can brush the heels, and we're going to work the obliques. And that's going to be the last abs exercise. So we're going to lift the chest off, take the right hand towards the right heel, engaging the obliques, come through center, over to the left. And let's just take a few on each side, breathing in, breathing out. And just do a couple more on each side and slowly release. And we're going to just stay here for a few breaths. And when you're ready, just bring your arms out wide. And we're going to inhale as we lift the hips up. And we're going to just shift them over to the right a couple of inches. And we're going to twist over to the left. You can bring the knees up towards the chest if you want to work into the mid-back. It's entirely up to you. But draw that right shoulder towards the mat. And just take the gaze wherever it's comfortable. And let's breathe here for a few moments. Really feel that breath all through that right side body. Feel that rib basket expanded as we inhale. And in your own time, slowly come back to center. Just release the feet to the mat for a couple of breaths. Just notice the sensations in the body. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale as we lift the hips. Take it over to the left, and we're going to twist over to the right. And again, might be different on this side, and that's absolutely fine. So just breathe here for a few moments. And in your own time, we're going to inhale it all the way back to center. And just take a couple of breaths here. And just release the legs. Bring the arms up overhead. And we're going to have a nice big stretch. So just take a couple of moments here. Point the toes, take the fingers all the way up. And just roll over onto your belly. And we're going to bring the hands towards the shoulders. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. And we're going to inhale as we lift the chest off, just coming into our up dog. You can come onto the forearms if this is too strong. This is just a nice little counter stretch to abs. And let's just breathe in here for 3, for 2, for 1. And we're going to tuck the toes, we're going to lift the hips up, and we're going to bring ourselves into our all fours position. So just make your adjustments, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. And we're going to take our cat-cow breaths. So as you inhale, we're going to tilt the pelvis away from the belly. We're going to draw the belly towards the mat, and we're going to bring the shoulders in towards each other. Take the gaze up. As you exhale, reverse that motion. Take your time. Feel the fluidity in the spine. Just take a few of these. Just notice if you've got any pinch points, any little pains. You might want to breathe into those areas. So just take a couple more and bring yourself back to your neutral spine. When you're ready, we're going to inhale that right arm out. So reach it forward parallel with the mat. You can take the left leg up as well if you like. Try to line up the hips. You can stay here. You can bend the left knee. Take hold of the left foot in the right hand and inhale as you press and lift. And you can take the gaze wherever it's comfortable. Just breathe into it. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale to release. Release the hand, release the knee. And let's move straight over to the left. So take the left arm out parallel with the mat. Option to lift that right leg. Option to bend the right knee. Take hold of the right foot in the left hand. Inhale as we press and lift. Just a couple of deep breaths here. And exhale to release. What I want you to do is to slowly come onto the forearms. Just check that they're roughly shoulder distance apart. And bring the left leg out and the right leg out. We're going to come into our forearm plank. So check your alignment here. Because I know I have a tendency to either dip my palm or lift it too high. What we're doing here is engaging the core. We're working into the triceps. So keep breathing into it. Draw the heels away from the body. Try to keep that alignment. And let's just breathe in here. The 3, the 2, the 1, and slowly drop the knees and just come into child's pose. And we're just going to stay in child's pose for 3 deep breaths. Feel that breath all the way in, all the way out. When you're ready, we're going to come into our plank pose. So fingers spread out nice and wide. Let's lift the body off the mat. So nice and strong. You can stay here or you can come onto the knees. And we're going to do some more on the triceps. So I want you to slowly bend the elbows, bring the chest forward, engage the triceps, and lift. Just take a few of these. They're quite strong, so you will feel this in the arms in particular. Just do a couple more. And we're going to drop back into child's pose. And slowly bring yourself back into plank pose. And we're going to take 5 more of those. So remember, you're trying to take the chest forward. So you're working into the triceps. So you're not bending the elbows back as such. Trying to keep the elbows in a nice position above the wrists if you can. And slowly drop back into child's pose. Just take a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, you're going to come all the way up into downward facing dog. So just take a couple more breaths if you need to. Come into down dog when you're ready. And pedal the feet, bend the knees. I want you to feel that breath in the back of the body. So feel it in the back of the ribs. Feel a nice strong pelvis. We're going to inhale as we lift the heels. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Lift and release. And we're going to stay with the triceps. We're going to slowly drop the elbows, bring the forearms, hover and lift. Try to keep that stability in the rest of the body and lift. Let's take 5 of these all together. So just lower the elbows to a hover point and lift. Just take a couple more breaths in your downward facing dog. And as you exhale, take the gaze between the hands and slowly walk or step the feet to the hands. And we're going to come into ragdoll for a few moments. Just shake it out from side to side. And swing the arms around, shake the head, nod the head. And just come to your point of stillness and just take the hands wherever they reach, whether it's the toes, the shins, the thighs. And I want you to inhale as you lift the chest and straighten the arms. Exhale to fold. Just take a few of these on your own breath. Relax the back and the knees if you need. And just notice what's happening in the body. See if there's any more space. It doesn't matter if there isn't. Just a couple more breaths. When you're ready, we're going to inhale and we're going to come all the way up. Take the fingers up towards the sky. Come onto the tip if you want to. Nice big stretch. And release. Just take a few shoulder rolls as you make your way into your mountain pose, the Tadasana. So you can bring the feet together. Take a look at the toes. Lift them up towards the balls of the feet. Spread them out as you bring them back to the mat. Shoulders away from the ears, arms by the side. Let's take a few deep breaths here. We're going to inhale to rise. Float the arms up, take the gaze up. Exhale, we fold forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we step back into plank. And let's hold plank for a little bit longer. Just check your alignment. Draw the heels away, nice and strong. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bend the elbows, take the chest forward. Inhale, we lift the chest. Open the heart. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, we come into downward facing dog. Let's breathe in, breathe out. So remember to keep that stability and breath in the back of the body as well. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands, step or walk, feet to hands. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise through Hastasana. Gaze to the sky. Exhale to release. Let's take a couple of breaths here. So we're going to work through a sequence that's a little bit different to what we've done before. So don't worry if you get it a little bit wrong or anything. So just take a couple more breaths here in Tadasana. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold forward from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it into plank. Nice and strong. If you feel the hips are dipping, engage the core, get that strong alignment. Exhale as we bend the elbows, coming into our upward facing dog. Nice and strong. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to inhale that right leg in the air. We're going to try and keep the pelvis nice and neutral. So we're not opening out that right hip. We're going to bend the knee and straighten. Bend and straighten. And I want you to bend the knee and bring the knee to the nose. Hold it here. Tap the floor with the knee and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Straighten that leg. Three-legged dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Bend the right knee. Bring the right foot between the hands. You can drop that left knee if you want. Take the right hand. Stabilize that left shoulder as we inhale and twist over to the right. You can lift the back knee, it's your choice. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep that left shoulder nice and strong. Just take a couple more breaths here. And on the next inhale, I want you to bring that right hand to the mat. And inhale as you shoot both arms up, coming into your low lunge. Keep it nice and strong in the upper body. Bring the arms to cactus arms, and we're going to twist it over to the right. Breathe in, nice strong length in the spine. Come through center and twist it over to the left. Keep the bend in that right knee nice and strong. Let's come back through center. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you, coming into arrow lunge. Nice and strong. Now we're going to inhale as we come back, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, release the hands to the mat. And we're going to bring the hands to the inside of that right foot. And we're going to come into a side lunge. So you're still in that right knee and you're lifting up onto that left heel. And stay here. You can release the hands at any point. So just do what's right for you. Don't worry if you fall. Don't worry if you wobble. And we're going to slowly bring the hands to the mat and just bring the bum to the mat. And I want you to press that right foot into that left thigh. Check your sit bones, nice and grounded. And we're going to bring the hands to the side of that left leg, flex that left foot, bend that knee if you need. Inhale, we lift and lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. You can take that left foot if it's available. You can use a belt, whatever you need. It's not about grabbing the foot, it's about that length in the body. So just breathe into it. As you inhale, feel that length in the upper body, nice and long. Exhale, we reach forward. Let's take a couple more breaths. And I want you to inhale as you come all the way up. Bring that right leg and straighten both legs. Take the hands behind you, fingers pointing towards the toes. And I want you to inhale as you lift the hips up, coming into your reverse plank. So we're looking at the triceps. We're breathing in. You can take the hand behind you. Just let it hang here for a couple more deep breaths. All the way in, all the way out. Okay, one more inhale. And exhale as you slowly release to the mat. And we're going to bring the hands to frame the front of the body again. And I want you to shoot yourself back into your three-legged dog. Right leg in the air. Let's just breathe in here for 3, 2, 1. And release that leg to the mat. Let's take a deep breath. And exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands, step or walk feet to hands. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale to fall. Inhale to rise, hands to the sky. Exhale to release. So just take a few breaths here. We're going to do the other side as well. I hope that you'll have a better idea of what to expect. So just take a couple more breaths, find your Tadasana, shoulders away from the ears, arms by the side. Inhale to rise. Exhale as we fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's take it to plank. Let's take a couple of extra long breaths here. Just working into the core here. Let's take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bend the elbows, bring the chest forward. Inhale, as we lift and open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. And really notice what's going on with the back of the body here as well. And I want you to inhale that left leg in the air. Keep a nice neutral pelvis. Bend the knee and straighten. Bend and straighten. And we're going to bend the knee, bring it to the nose. Hold it here. Tap the mat and lift. Tap and lift. One more tap And lift, three-legged dog. Take a deep inhale. Exhale as you bend the left knee, bring that foot between the hands, and you can drop the back knee if you want. Stabilize that right shoulder blade. Inhale as we twist over to the left. Let's take one more inhale. As you exhale, we're going to bring that left hand towards the mat. And we're going to inhale as we shoot both arms up, coming into our low lunge. You can drop that back knee, it's entirely up to you. And we're going to cactus arms, twist it over to the left. Let's come back through center and twist it over to the right. And let's come back to the center. Take the arms up, shoot them towards the sky. And I want you to exhale as you sweep them behind you, coming into your arrow lunge. Hold it here, nice and strong in that front leg. Inhale, let's lift the arms up again. And as you exhale, I want you to release the hands and frame that front foot. And I want you to slowly bring the hands to the inside of that left foot. And you're going to come into your side lunge, bending into that left knee. Lifting onto that right heel. You can take the hands to prayer. When you're ready, slowly release the bum to the mat. We're going to bring that left foot into that right thigh. Check your grounding. Bring the hands either side. Flex that right foot. You can have that little micro bend in that right knee. Inhale as we lift and lengthen. Exhale as we hinge forward. So remember, the aim is to try to keep that space and that length. There is a tendency sometimes just to round the spine because you want to just drop down. Just lose the ego here. Just do these poses with honesty. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the upper body. Exhale as you hinge forward. Just take a couple more breaths here. And slowly come back on the inhale. We're going to straighten that left leg this time. And we're going to bring the hands behind, fingers pointing towards the toes. Inhale, lift the hips, coming into our upside down plank. So we're working the triceps, just drop the head back. Just breathe in, breathe out. Take a couple more breaths here. Slowly release on the exhale. We're going to come back to frame that front foot. And we're going to shoot that left leg up in the air for three-legged dog. And just hold it here. And exhale to release. We're going to take 3 lined breaths here. Take one more inhale. Exhale as you gaze between the hands. Step or walk, feet to hand. We're going to inhale, we lift and lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Take the hands up. Exhale to release. Okay, we've got about 5 minutes left. I want to just quickly do one more exercise. And it's just a little exercise for when you're doing your standing balancing poses. Because sometimes there's a tendency to go into that standing hip, like so. So say if you're going into warrior 3, sometimes there's a tendency to draw out that right hip, which isn't really good for the muscles around here. So what we're going to do is just a quick exercise to try and keep neutrality in that standing hip. So just presume we're going to start with the right leg being the grounded leg. You want your right hand to be around that right hip. And bring the left hand towards the top of that femur, so that femoral head. We want this to stay nice and stable. Start engaging the muscles around the bum, so that gluteus medius muscle, to help you draw that hip in so it's not coming out. So just bring the hand there and bring the left hand there. And we're going to bring that little softness into that right knee. And I want you to bend forward slightly. Just take that left leg and take it out to the side. Start tapping this, start engaging this. You will feel it. And every time you see that right hip coming out, just draw it back in. So this should feel quite strong. We're going to just take a couple more, bring it back in. And then we're going to slowly bring that left foot behind us. I'm going to come into our warrior three. And again, see if you can engage those muscles. See if you can try and keep neutrality in that right hip. Because we're trying to keep the pelvis nice and neutral as well. You can release the arms if you want. Just take a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, come all the way back up. Just shake it out. We're going to take it on the left side now. So we're going to ground that left leg. Again, bring the left hand to that outer hip. Bring the right hand to the top of that femoral head. So you're going to try and keep this all nice and stable. So it's not popping out to the left. So let's do the same exercise. Soften that left knee. Take the right leg out. You can just press that left hip. Just check that it's all engaged, nice and strong. When you're ready, slowly bring that right leg back in, and we're going to lift it up all the way behind us, coming into our warrior three pose. Just notice the difference here. I find this exercise has helped me a little bit to stop looking out the standing hip. And when you're ready, just come all the way up and just shake it out. Just come back to the top of the mat. I'm going to bring the feet mat distance apart. Bring the hands to prayer. And we're going to slowly start lowering down into our yogi squat. In your own time, slowly bring the bum to the mat. Got a couple more minutes left, so we're just going to lower all the way down into our final Shavasana. So just release the legs, release the arms, and just settle in here, maybe for about a minute or so. And we're just going to start deepening the breath. And let's just slowly start wiggling the fingers and the toes. And let's rotate the ankles and the wrists in both directions. Just gently draw the knees and the legs together, and just give yourself a nice big stretch. And bring the knees into the chest and roll out onto the side. And safely bring yourself straight up into your comfortable cross-legged position. So you can keep the eyes closed and the face soft. And we're going to Bring the hands to heart center and end with our 3 clearing breaths. Slowly bringing the thumbs up to the third eye. And just thanking yourself for a nice, strong practice and being proud of your journey. The inner light in me will always honor the inner light in you. Thank you so much for today's practice. Cheers. Thanks so much. Take care. See you soon, love. Bye.
Bye.